Where the strawberries are, and got the second row going. I still was going to show y'all some other stuff, but I was going to show y'all making the amendments up. But I had done it in some buckets before, and it took me about 30 minutes to mix the dirt up by hand to fill up those two little holes. So I'm going to use an electric cement mixer I have to make that job a lot quicker, because at that rate it'll take me a long time to get enough soil mixed up to finish out that row. I told y'all, I'm pretty sure in one of the other videos, that I put in a second row for the strawberries, because when I got them and how far I was spacing them, I was going to need a second row. It won't completely fill up both rows, but I needed to make a second row, and I wanted to make it on this side instead of out there, because that soil is already amended for a different plant that I was planning on planting out there. So I just made it on this side because this soil hasn't been amended. I tilled it and put in the middles and finished out the middle over there. But the problem is, I was going to cut these trees out later, but now, because of the second row, if they fall wrong, they're going to fall in the garden when I try to cut them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out first before I go any further and try to put any more plants in. The other thing I wanted to do was just show y'all this pretty clear blue sky in Louisiana. I'm going to try not to get the sun in your eyes, but I'm going to try to spin around a little bit so you can see that it's actually pretty blue all the way everywhere, no clouds anywhere, which is very, very rare in Louisiana. Low humidity and clear skies, but it is a little chilly today. Yeah, I'm not wearing a whole lot of clothing, but I already took some of it off over here. I was going to make a little joke about my GQ farming equipment, this sweater over here that I kind of wore it a little bit and got some holes in it now, but was a really nice 100% merino wool sweater, and seen it better days. So now I use it because it's still really warm for working when it's cold. This is basically a weed eater that you can put different attachments on, and this attachment down here looks more like a chainsaw, and then they could basically call it a pole saw, and it's made so you can reach and cut in the areas so you don't have to actually climb in there and all those bushes with the chainsaw and cut it out, because it's got a little bit longer reach. So we're going to crank it up, and it's made only need choke 2, I think, probably right now. So we'll get it to crank, and then we'll do a little action with it. I wanted to show y'all that before I cranked it, so you'd be able to hear, because it might get a little noisy. So I got a few little trees and limbs, and I got some more on another section, but just looking to see where I want to start first. Stepping over a pile makes it a little bit harder to walk. Okay, I'm going to cut my favorite thing, vine, so I can walk through here a little bit. Don't know how well y'all can see this. Hope you can see it pretty decently. So we got 2 cuts made. Try not to move my head too fast, make it too squirrely, give anybody any seasickness. Like I said, this makes it a lot easier than we had to get there with a chainsaw. Okay, I just want y'all to see a little bit of this one in action. Then I'm gonna clear this out without everything. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill it, and gotta pull some of these out of there anyway, so I can get in there further. But that's the reason for this. If I get these out, now all these that were in my way of walking up in there, I can now walk in there. I have a little assistance today. Stacy's home today, so she can actually help me with carrying limbs in a little while. But for right now, I'm just gonna put these over there. That's gonna be my burn pile. And that's how they start. Cut a few limbs, throw a few limbs on the ground. Wherever they lay and dry, come back later and burn them. So I know a couple more of these are cut. This one will probably get cut again with the chainsaw, just so it lays in the pile a little bit better. And I'll show that when I'm using the chainsaw. I'm gonna give you a few minutes of the brush cutting and the brush moving, then I'll finish it up without boring y'all too much with this. And like I said, there ain't no big trees, it's a couple small trees, and I'm gonna cut them down. But you'll get to see the gist of it. But as I said, don't know how much of this is cut yet, but I can get in here now a lot more than I used to could. So like I said, now I'll come back, I'll crank it back up, I'll cut these other ones out that I couldn't get to a while ago. And like I said, then I'll drag them out. And at that point, I'm just gonna end this video. And like I said, I'll finish cutting it up out, getting to the trees. I don't have to work with all these sticks. This is a new one, so I'm trying not to run it too hard right now. Give it a chance to break in a little bit. So you might hear it rev up a little bit more every now and then. But I'm trying to hold it down a little bit. Little vine. Put that vine out of the way. Leaning over bushes. Gotta cut this one this way. All right, like I said, I'm gonna drag these out, put them over there in the burn pile, and then like I said, I'll end this video, just this portion of it. And like I said, I'll bring y'all back once I get back to cutting on the, before I start cutting with the chainsaw. I'll show you, clear it out a little bit better. Gonna be a few vines I might have to pull out or cut. Got a little bit of, little small pair of pruners for that, in case if I need to do it. Try not to walk too much into the garden. Probably cut this one in half again too, just so it don't stick out of the pile so much. All right guys, we're gonna call this one a good one, and we'll get back, like I said, a little later after it's cleaned out some more, and show y'all a little bit more of the process of actually using the chainsaw to cut down the tree.